When did you first meet him, Carol?
I can't remember the dates, but I met him for the first time. I'd found a lump and went. And he was the nicest man you could wish to meet. He was, I described him as God, because he was looking after me as I thought. He was protecting me, saving me from actual cancer. And when I was recalled, I went to stick up for him.
So when when these rumours started surfacing, you didn't believe that he could
No, I
possibly
didn't
be doing
believe
this?
for 1 minute that he would have done such a thing. He was such a
And you saw that
nice
through
man.
the eyes of an adult. When you're a fully grown woman when you went to see him. You were a child, basically. How old were you?
16.
16.
Yeah.
And what did he recommend for you? What was the diagnosis?
So the diagnosis was, so I again found a lump while I was in the shower, went to the GP and got referred, and he just basically said it was a fibroadenoma, so it needed to come out. So it was just a cyst basically, but that it needed to come out. And again, nicest kind of guy in the world.
So you felt reassured, you're thinking he knows what he's talking about. You went with your dad.
Yeah.
What did your dad say when he said you needed this operation?
Yeah, so I think obviously as I was 16, I look kind of to my dad, and he just said, you know, if the surgeon's saying you need it out, Jade, then you need it out. And he says all the time that he feels guilty about it, but, you know, when are you going to believe the surgeon?
Jade, how do you know you didn't need it out?
So we got recalled. And they did a surgeon did an independent review of all the cases, and they kind of said that they potentially wouldn't have practiced in the same way, and that they would have monitored the first lump, and I had 3 further operations following that, and that they were unnecessary because it was just a cyst. It didn't need to.
And how many operations did you have, Carol?
I actually had 7, but there was only paperwork for 6. So.
And he was removing lumps.
He was removing lumps, and on 2 occasions he said it was in the grey area, bordering on cancer. And they'd got to be removed.
Right, OK. That was his opinion, that was his prognosis. Was that ever borne out? Did you actually have cancer?
No.
Right.
No. And
so you two have been through the same experience, basically?
Yes, yes.
A number of procedures. And what effect has that had on you? Because people will be wondering what is involved in removing a cyst or a lump. Is there much disfigurement with that?
Yeah, so you get scarring, so obviously it's going under general anaesthetic every time, so obviously it was the first time I'd ever had anything like that done, so that was a scary experience in itself, just going under the anaesthetic. Obviously then a week later you have to have your stitches removed. I'd actually had a reaction to the stitches, so that was really painful to be removed afterwards, and obviously it's a sensitive area. And yeah, there's scarring that is still there now that won't go.
Which, you know, it's an awful... When you're a young woman and you're setting up, and you said you've got a boyfriend now, just to explain to somebody what's happened to you must be like reliving it all again.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just really lucky that my boyfriend's really supportive and that kind of loves me the way I am, and that doesn't matter. But, you know, it is scary when you have to retell that story.
And what about you, Carol? Have you got scarring?
Yes, I have got scarring, quite a number. He did, on a couple of occasions, go into the same scar but make it bigger. But the thing is, I know the scars are there. Yeah. My husband's really good.
And they're mental scars as well with you.
It is mental, and every time you look and then find out that it was for no reason, and that's what hurts more than anything.
Well, there had to be a reason. What reason? OK, it wasn't a medical reason. What do you theorise was his reason for doing this?
I would love to know. I would love to face him and ask the reason why he done this. People have suggested that it was for money, for extra money, but as a surgeon I would have thought he was earning quite a substantial amount.
What do you
of
think?
money.
What do you think he was thinking?
I don't know whether it started out as money and then it became this kind of God complex that people have talked about. You know, that it's like you're broken, I can fix you, and that kind of getting kicks out of being in power.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Some people had complete mastectomies. full
Yes.
mastectomies
Yeah.
that have since been
I
told
mean,
that
we
you didn't
was
need that.
lucky that we didn't
Yeah.
have to have that, but eventually it could have come to that.
But
Who
let me
knows?
ask you this, Carol, then. We talked about trusting your medic, trusting your doctor. Would that ever leave you to, again, doubting
I
medical
would
opinion?
never trust I just have to have a second opinion all the time. I don't trust the opinion of one doctor now, and I can't help how I feel. That's made me feel like that.
See, I kind of feel like you're forced to trust the doctor. You know, he's the expert, he's the specialist. You know, they're the people that know. I don't know any better. My parents don't know any better. My boyfriend, if he went with me, doesn't know any better. So you're kind of forced into trusting them. And that's where I think it comes into consideration how they're managed and what actually then changes in the industry following something like this.